Hello everyone, my name is Hayden. I am a third-year medical student at the University of Washington School of Medicine. I'm through the WWAMI program, which means I was born and raised in Casper, Douglas area in Wyoming. So a country boy at my roots, but doing my training through the University of Washington through what's known as the WWAMI program. I'm here to answer questions that you might have about the program, and certainly the most common ones that I get all the time. All right, let's dive in. Question number one, what is WWAMI? Well, WWAMI is an acronym. It stands for Washington, Wyoming, Alaska, Montana, and Idaho, WWAMI. And it is a collaboration between those states and the University of Washington to train physicians from rural backgrounds. And in those states, there are no allopathic medical schools. So Washington agrees to train physicians from those areas in hopes that they would then return to those areas and increase the physician laboring count, I guess, in those states. Question number two is, why did I choose WWAMI? I chose WWAMI because it was a no-brainer. It's world-class education at a very well-regarded institution at a fraction of the cost in a lot of the communities that I grew up in and that I already know and love. So, no-brainer. Question number three, what is the educational experience like? Well, it's awesome. You get to train with all these really, truly incredible physicians all over the Western US. And it starts in Laramie, Wyoming, where you do kind of your basic training, start getting to work with patients, get a lot of feedback from physicians that you work very closely with for 2 years. And then the next 2 years, you transition out into the communities across the WWAMI region, and you start doing your clinical training. Again, working with physicians very closely and honing your skills. It's been a really supportive environment, and I've made some really, really good friends along the way. So I love it. Question number four, what's your favorite thing about WWAMI? For me, it's the diversity of the experiences that I get. I've gotten to train at the world-famous Seattle Children's Hospital doing inpatient pediatrics, and then a couple weeks later was back in Wyoming, kind of in the country doc role in a rural community. And since then, I've been to Idaho, and we'll be going to Montana and Alaska. So I get to train all over in all different kinds of environments, and it's made me a better human and hopefully a better physician. Fifth and final question I'll answer is, what is the benefit of collaborating between University of Wyoming and University of Washington? Kind of already touched on this, but basically you get all of the kind of street cred and the training from being associated with the University of Washington, but you get to do a lot of your training and exposure and community building in Wyoming, which is ultimately where I want to raise my family and live and practice medicine. So it's kind of a perfect combination of the two. And you might find that a lot of the doctors that you already know and admire in Wyoming were part of the WWAMI program. So I think the evidence speaks for itself.